This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is By the Prickling of My Thumbs. It was written by Thomas Bailey, who is also our Keeper of Arcane Lore, and this is episode 1. Folks, there are a number of ways that you can help us out. We don't monetize our show, so we rely on your donations to pay for things. If you can spare a couple of bucks, we will be deeply appreciative. You can also share the info about our club with other clubs and other friends. You can hit the like button and you can leave us some feedback. We love to hear from you. For our Patreon, you can follow the QR code or the link in the description. Thanks for your support. So without any further delays, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Thomas?
All right. Well, welcome, everyone. We're starting our scenario in a familiar place of Call of Cthulhu in Arkham. All of you, of course, are FBI agents. It is the 12th of June of 2025. You've just been called into the office for a little bit of a briefing. All you know at this point is that there is a high-profile individual that has been kidnapped that has national security implications. And so you are waiting outside the office of your boss, Frank Johnson. As you're waiting there, why don't we introduce ourselves? So if we can start just in the order that's on my particular screen. So Fort, if you would go first.
Yeah, my name is Fortitude Gallo. People call me Fort. I'm a forensic scientist, and I just, I do the fingerprints and look for blood stains and stuff like that and try to figure out what the hell happened. I have no idea why he's called us in today.
All right. Next on my screen, Simon Wheeler.
Hello, I'm Simon Wheeler. I'm a criminal profiler. We do our best to catch criminals, especially those of serial cases, and profile them so we can get ahead of them and do our best to eliminate those issues as soon as we can.
Right. Next on my screen, Dr. Moss.
Hello, I'm Dr. Moss. I am an expert in the occult and history. Generally, I'm called in to identify particular symbols, either linked to gangs or cults. I believe I was likely called in just because I'm a local, and I have basic training as well.
And then Martin.
Yeah, I'm Martin Meyer. I am an FBI digital forensics expert. I do a lot of work with reconstructing computers, getting into computers, other digital devices, phones, cell phones, tablets, laptops. I also dabble a little in forensic accounting. And I'm not sure why I'm here either, but this is the job, so here I am.
All right. Next up, Field Agent Romaro.
Hello, I'm Ben Romaro. Bit of a crack shot. He's been a field agent for probably at least 10 years now. He's got a wife and a kid. He is actually a little upset because he was supposed to be going on vacation with them right now and they got called in. And I'm not sure if I'd know anybody else other than Joseph. So again, I don't know why I'm here.
Speaking of which, last and certainly not least, Special Agent Joseph Vendretti.
Special Agent Vendretti, Joseph Vendretti, FBI.
All right. And with that, you do hear from inside the office a very familiar voice of Agent Johnson. Vendretti, get you and your men in here.
Let's go.
All right. You enter into Agent Frank Johnson's office. He has just getting off the phone, and he says, "Sit down or gather around. We've got a bit of a high-profile case. Have you guys been keeping up with what's going on at Miskatonic University? Has anybody read the papers this morning?"
Oh, something's always going on at Miskatonic. I haven't read anything.
Yeah, you
All
got to
right.
start with department. There's always something up there.
Yeah, tell you the truth,
And-
up till about an hour ago, I was on vacation. So
And
Uh,
reading a paper.
They're quite good at getting themselves into trouble.
That's true. Well, it seems one of them's got themselves gone missing. And he kind of looks at his notes. To Dr. Catherine Fletcher. She's got something to do with some sort of energy experiments over there at the university. She was in a bit of a rush. She left early on June 5th. And then, for whatever reason, a week later is when the university reports her missing. We've got a small team over there at the kind of coordinating off her office and also her apartment. I need you guys to go see what you guys can figure out. Any questions?
Oh, yeah, boss.
Well,
Did you say Fletcher?
Fletcher, yeah,
Fletcher.
Catherine Fletcher with a K.
Okay.
Oh, Catherine.
Frank, who's our contact at the university?
You are. Go down there and figure out what you got to do.
Who do we meet up with? Who reported her missing?
Oh, that was her dean. What was his name? Looks at his papers a bit. Yeah, Dr. Robert Finch.
What department are they in?
They are in the experimental energy department.
Experimental energy.
Physics.
excuse me, Frank, but wouldn't this be better suited for local PD? Why do we all need to be here?
Well, let's just put it this way. She was working on some experimental energy for the Department of Energy, U.S. federal government. That makes it our jurisdiction.
Besides, those Arkham cops are barely workable.
They're busy eating their donuts. What can you say? So get in there, get this thing done, find out where she is, and get this Department of the Energy people off my back. Been a big pain in the rear all morning long. What are you guys still doing here?
Okay, Frank.
leaving.
Let's go, boys.
Got you, Joe.
Take a couple of squad cars. We don't want to have scouts. Do we have squad cars?
You would have government issued Suburbans or black sedans, whichever you prefer.
Well, there's 6 of us. We got to take at least 2.
Yeah.
Sedan.
Okay.
Joe and I have our black Suburban that we use all the time. You guys can ride with us, but might be good to get to check out another car.
We'll take a sedan.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Martin, you want to
where do you guys want to
drive?
go first? You want to go to the university, or do you want to check out the apartment?
We should go over to the university, see what they got.
Right.
At the very least, we can probably hit up the apartment on the way back.
Hmm.
We
I'm
should
on my
cover our
cell
bases.
phone. I'm going to be on my. I'm looking up who the IT director is there because I want to get into the. I want to see if she's probably got a desktop, maybe her laptop. So I want to get her password or get it to there. I know they can
Get inside
override
the
that,
teacher
so
portal.
I want to get right in there, see what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, the head of IT there at the university is Marion Leonardo.
Mary Leonardo. All right.
All right. Should we get some coffee on the way?
Yes,
I would
please.
love a coffee.
All right. I'll go through Starbucks. We'll go through Starbucks.
Are we allowed to do donuts, or is that just local cops? Can we get some donuts too?
I'll get donuts.
We don't want to go.
Right.
We don't want to go to Starbucks. We want to go to this little place over on Aberdeen that has got the best bear claws in the entire damn state.
I'm
Okay.
in.
Ben, we'll do those later. First thing, time matters in this. We're already a week behind. Let's
All
get
right,
to
all
the
right,
dean.
all right.
Well,
all
you
right.
know, my wife turned me on to them, and she is just always going on about how great they are.
We'll see if we can get one of the flunkies to get us stuff and bring it.
Oh yeah, that's why we have interns.
Good. All right, so you guys are heading to the university first, yes?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you find out that the kind of the experimental energy department at Miskatonic University is not quite on the main campus. It's kind of one of those kind of off-site areas that you head to, kind of tucked away, kind of in one of the back quarters there of Arkham. Her laboratory, Dr. Fletcher's laboratory, occupies a long, high-ceilinged room in the basement of an old building. Which once was a part of the university steam and electrical works. The walls are lined with all sorts of mismatched equipment. Hulking oscilloscopes, vacuum chambers patched with heavy copper fittings, battered chalkboards scrawled with half-erased equations. Overhead, there's exposed pipes that rattle with the building's heating system, and the air smells faintly of ozone and singed insulation. There is also kind of in the center of this kind of large room, there's kind of this kind of skeletal kind of cage type of thing that's kind of set up, and it's kind of a little bit more of kind of an octagonal kind of a type of apparatus in the center of the workspace when you kind of enter in. There are a couple of Arkham cops that are at the entrance of the main building. You of course flash your badges and they let you in right away. When you get then directly to the area of her laboratory, there are a couple of low-level FBI flunkies that are there, of course, just kind of guarding the scene until you guys arrive. Yep,
What the hell is that thing? Is that like a Faraday cage? I'm looking at it. Yeah.
It's not completely encased. It is just like the ribs of one piece. It's kind of an octagonal shape.
Huh. Interesting.
I go over to the FBI guys who've been watching the scene. Fred, Henry, anything you can tell us about this?
No, sir. We got here about a couple of hours ago when we got the call in, and we were given explicit instructions not to disturb anything and just wait for, as we were told, our betters to arrive.
Oh.
Well, thank you for watching the scene.
Would you take our coffee and donut order?
Very close.
We are trained FBI agents, sir.
I would love something jelly filled.
Well, they sent us over here to take care of this, so we couldn't go by.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't eaten, and it would be bad.
I'm going to look at the two guys at the door and be like, just ignore them and just do your job, guys. Let's go. Everybody inside. Come on.
Is the dean here?
He is at his office. If you wish, we can give him a call. We were given his number. And
tell him we're here. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. What's his number, Frank?
His number is blah 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 blah.
I wrote that exactly in my little black notepad.
I'm gonna call Marion and ask her to help me get into. I'm gonna go to her right to the computer. I just want to because I want to get in her email, see what the last thing she had was. And
okay. Yeah. You hop over to her. You do hop over to her. The computer that's there, the desk where her computer is at, and it is password protected, obviously. You try some of the simple ones right away, and none of that kind of goes in to open up the system. So at that point, then you probably do call Miss Leonardi, and it takes her a little bit, but she basically blanks out her password so that you then have access to it.
Right. Great. So I'm going to open her email up.
Okay.
And while he's doing that, I'm at her desk, going through her trash and possibly through her desk to see if there's a airplane ticket or something indicating that she had a vacation planned or something.
You're the expert here, Ford. Tell us what to do.
Well, I'm good with forensics, but I'm hardly the expert.
Ben, let's check the scene.
I'll look for some emails that might be, for when for ticket purchases and things too. Shouting.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I would like to look for physical notes and like whiteboards or chalkboards where she has done equations. And doing that, I would like to put 60 in science mathematics to sort of begin to to understand what's on the board.
Okay. Yeah, because there is a lot of stuff. Because, as your typical physicists do, they've got their boards with all of their equations and whatnot on it. Yeah, go ahead and give me that mathematics roll. And Fort, if you can give me a spot hidden. And Martin, because the password was blanked out. One of the things you first discover, she seems to have, or someone, I should say, someone has pretty much wiped this system back to kind of its factory default.
What the? Hey, Marion, did you guys do this? Did you wipe her computer out?
No, we don't have access to the files directly because she doesn't store to the cloud. She stores everything locally on her computer, so we don't have any access to anything that's on her computer.
All right,
Might be backed up to her home computer.
We can look there too, but I'm going to look behind the scenes a little. I want to see if I could see if there's a time date stamp where she might have done that herself.
Okay, give me a computer use roll, and I'm going to ask for a hard one. While you're doing that, Fort, how did you do on your roll?
I got a 50 out of 70, so I passed,
50.
but not just a regular.
Right. Basically, there is years and years worth of notes kind of all over the place. There are no there's no like
tickets, or
plane tickets or train tickets or anything like that. You find a lot of stuff for a local Chinese takeout place that's a couple of blocks away. That seems to kind of be a place where she would often go, or at least get takeout from. But other than that, it's just a lot of scientific materials and a lot of scientific data. She does have on her desk, the only thing is kind of more personal type of thing. She does have a little small bust of Shakespeare is kind of sitting there right on her desk. But other than that, she seems to keep a pretty clean office, and everything else is kind of work related that you find.
Well, I'm sort of feeding these little details towards Simon. Since Simon, you're the profiler. It looks like she's pretty neat and clean. Everything in here. I don't see any plans or day planner or anything. The garbage can's just got a lot of receipts from a Chinese place that she likes to eat.
Yeah, I got a 97. So all I know is that this computer is like it was came out of the factory. Everything's wiped. I don't know who did it or anything. But I'm gonna just say, guys, if you see any like zip drives or anything around, she might have backed it up to that. Otherwise, we'll check her computer at her home, her laptop.
Well, isn't it also possible that she didn't know what she was doing, or whoever erased her? I mean, the data could still be there on the hard drive.
She's a nuclear physicist. I'm pretty sure she's not going to format hard drive C or something accidentally. I mean, you would think. But
well, I don't know enough about computers, but I thought she could, even when they format them, you could.
I just can't tell you who. It could have been somebody else. It could have been her. I can't even get a timestamp on it. It's like brand new out of the factory.
Yeah. You probably need to take it back to your research area, right, Martin?
Yeah, I'm gonna
take a better look at it.
I want to take this back as evidence. I do want to get it packed up, and we'll look at it more.
Do you think, Martin, excuse me? Do you think, Martin, she might have run off with any research funding, and maybe the project wasn't going anywhere?
Well,
I don't know. I'd have to look at like what she submitted to the department, for her expenses and stuff. I'd have to take a look at that. We can ask the dean for that. I can't tell anything from this computer. Let
me see if I can get prints off the keyboard.
All right, yeah. They'll probably be mine, but yeah.
Well, we know what yours look like.
Oh, that's too.
All right. Also, Dr. Moss, how did you do on your roll?
I got a regular success as well.
A regular success. All right. One of the things you're finding is you're looking at her notes and all this sort of stuff, and there's just something odd and strange about her calculations. In fact, they just don't seem to make sense. She seems to be interested in kind of geometry, but it's kind of, in a sense, kind of warped a little bit in the way that geometry works. Nothing matches any of the proofs that you're used to ever seeing or anything that you've read about. It's just none of it makes things don't add up. They don't equal anything like they should. Even when you see something that should be blatantly obvious, like a 1 + 1 = 2, just to simplify in terms of description, she's calculating 1 + 1 to be like 7. And then that's opening up all these other areas of the way her movement in that direction of formulaic expression is going on. It just makes very little sense.
Gentlemen, my fraud theory or my running away with the money theory might have a little bit more ground here because none of these equations make sense. Perhaps she was just copying from a chatbot of some sort, and of course it would hallucinate the information. And
or there was something on the computer that makes the blackboard make sense.
It's true. Or maybe she's just wiping the computer and putting some crazy stuff on the boards just to throw us off of a scent or something. Or
Well,
maybe it's not even
are-
her. Maybe it's somebody else that took her, you know?
I don't think
Well-
any of us are qualified for advanced quantum physics or anything. So
Yeah, we shouldn't make too many suppositions before we
Yeah.
actually
we could
talk to
find
the
another professor at the university.
Could ask
who
the
might be
dean
able to-
if the dean, if he knew what she was working on specifically, that would help a lot. I know I know this is government research too, probably military, because isn't it all? If we knew what
Well,
they
they
were
have the money.
working on. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of which, about that time, Dean Robert Finch does arrive. One of the FBI flunkies that was outside kind of escorts him in and introduces you to Dr. Finch. Gentlemen, I'm glad you're able to get here. Yes, whatever I can help you with, I'd be happy to. Whatever you need. Dr. Fletcher is one of our top scientists, and if we can get her back, let's just say there's a lot of grant funding caught up with her that we would like to make sure keeps getting funneled into Miskatonic.
Okay. Could you tell us what exactly she was working on for the government?
Yes.
What was her research?
Her research was on quantum vacuum energy extraction.
Hello, Dean. Special Agent Vendretti, Joe Vendretti. Why did you wait for a week before you reached out to ask for help from the FBI?
Well, the Arkham police said we couldn't file a missing persons report until a week had passed.
Did you suspect she'd been missing earlier?
Well, one of her research assistants, Marjorie, who was working in the lab on the 5th of June, said that she kind of left a bit unexpectedly in the middle of the day, and she looked a little frazzled. And so, things happen, of course, and it might have been a personal thing. And so we gave her a couple of days, and I tried calling at her house 2 days later, and then there was the weekend. I tried calling to get her on Monday, and then several times throughout the day on Tuesday. And then finally, at that point, then I did call the Arkham police, and they said, no, we had to wait till today to be able to call them, to actually file a missing persons report.
Do you know if she had a roommate or a spouse that she lived with, or did she live alone?
No, she just had her 2 cats.
So this Marjorie would have been the last person to have seen her.
Here at the university, yes, that we know of.
All right.
Obviously, the last person to see her was her killer.
We don't
And
have
I say
Dean-
that as a joke.
Dean, we noticed that she had no calendar, physical paper calendar, or appointment book. Does the university use a system for managing calendars on the computer?
Oh yeah, we pay millions of dollars a year for software, but yeah, Dr. Fletcher was not much of a person for system-wide things, and so she just kept hers on her old Palm Pilot.
Oh,
Palm
Palm
Pilot.
Pilot.
Wow.
Has anyone seen that?
Not
Frank?
secure.
Henry?
You've not found it here at the lab, no.
We'll check at the house for that.
Uh,
Did she mainly just use this desktop, or did she have hooked up to the university system? Did she have a laptop? Do you know what equipment she was assigned from the university? Like,
The only her desktop computer there, and she insisted on keeping the same Pentium 2 she's had since her graduate days,
yeah.
which she kind of points over to that old relic that you were just playing with there, Martin. Everything else, as I just kind of look around, it seems like most of her research is still kind of here. I mean, there might be a book or two missing, but this looks about like I'm used to seeing the lab.
would any
Is
of
there
that,
someone in your department that could help us understand what is going on here, what this cage is, etc.?
Margie,
Yeah.
maybe?
Yeah, there, Marjorie, of course, who was kind of her lab assistant here, and then her doctoral student that was working alongside her, Paul Denning. They would probably be the two people most knowledgeable of what's going on. I mean, I do have a basic kind of understanding of what she was working on, but I can't, I would not be able to explain it all that well.
Is Mr. Denning here somewhere?
Paul, he should be. I understand he was informed of Catherine's disappearance. They were, I mean, as you know, advisee are. They were fairly close. I assume he might be coming in, but I can't dictate a doctoral student's hours.
Sure, sure. Did she have any rivalries with the other professors?
I mean, there was professional rivalries, of course, and Catherine. Well, to be quite frank, as I was mentioning a little bit earlier, she's the one that brings in the big bucks for the university. I mean, it's a major government contract we have with this quantum energy thing.
I
Did
guess
she?
what I'm asking you, Dean, is as the dean, have you had to deal with any difficulties she's had with any other people here?
Oh, we're dealing mostly with science academics. They aren't known for, a paper clip is a bad day for them.
Okay, so no one in particular.
Nothing that stands out that I'm aware of.
Do you have access to any of her published work that you could share? Previously published, if there is any.
We
Yeah,
could even
well-
understand it.
Well, there is. He says, "Well, give me a second. There is a white paper that kind of explains a little bit about what she has done. All right, let me do this sharing thing real quick and see how that works.
Classified, top secret, handle via approved channels only. United States Department of Energy, Office of Advanced Research and Security Programs. Date 21 of March 2023. To Dr. Eleanor Grant, Deputy Secretary of Engineering, not engineering, sorry, Energy. From Jonathan H. Mercer, Director, Advanced Research Oversight. Subject: Quantum Vacuum Energy Extraction Project. Dr. Catherine Fletcher, Miskatonic University, Experimental Energy Department. Program Overview. The Quantum Vacuum Energy Extraction Project, QUEEP, I'm not going to put that all together, is a classified research initiative at Miskatonic University's Experimental Energy Department under the direction of Dr. Catherine Fletcher, Senior Fellow. The objective is to develop methods of extracting usable energy from quantum vacuum fluctuations, potentially providing a virtually limitless energy source independent of traditional fields. Technical findings. Firstly, vacuum field, why can't I say that word right now? Resonance. Fletcher's team has reported success in generating resonance within the 0-point field, producing measurable bursts of energy. Secondly, energy output. Early trials suggest output on par with small-scale nuclear reactor. Though only sustained for milliseconds, stability and scalability remain unresolved. Third, secondary phenomena. The experiments have generated unexpected anomalies, distortions in electromagnetic readings, unexplained time lags in instrumentation, and reoccurring geometric patterns on monitoring equipment. Fourth, containment issues. In several trials, laboratory space experienced short-lived distortions resembling angular bends inconsistent with conventional physics. Personal assessment. Dr. Catherine Fletcher is regarded as an accomplished theoretical physicist with high institutional standing. She demonstrates clear focus and technical competence. Graduate and research assistants are DOE cleared, but remain under close supervision. No unauthorized access reported to date. Risk evaluation. Probability of catastrophic release if resonance thresholds are exceeded. Prolonged exposure to the experimental array has caused personnel symptoms including disrupted circadian cycles, fixation on angular patterns, and disorientation. Further investigation required to rule out cognitive effects linked to the anomalous phenomena. Recommendations: continue experimental trials with tighter containment procedures, increased oversight by DOE safety officers on site, restrict testing duration to under 6 hours per session, reassess long-term viability at the next quarterly review. Signed, Jonathan H. Mercer, Director, Advanced Research Oversight, U.S. Department of Energy.
That's from 2 years ago.
I wonder if this has something to do with that big weird cage in the middle of the room. Definitely want to talk. We definitely need to talk to the doctoral student there, Marjorie, and what was his name there?
Paul Denning. Paul Denning's
Yeah.
the doctoral student. Marjorie Klein is the lab tech.
Lab tech. We definitely want to talk to those two. Dean, if I could get all of Dr. Fletcher's recent expense reports, like anything she submitted for, not just for this project and probably coming out of whatever the grant fund is, but I want to see everything, every paper clip, every piece of office equipment, anything that she's ordered. If I could get copies of that, everything that, basically all the receipts she submitted and what she's expensing. That would be helpful.
Sure. Yeah, we can make sure you get all that information. I mean, most of it's going to be with the Department of Energy, but we do have redundant copies here at the university.
Oh, good.
Martin, perhaps you could provide your input on this, but Dean, is this lab accessible through like a key card reader? Perhaps we could get the information on when it was last accessed by who, considering that data is usually kept within the cards, I believe.
It's an old building.
Yeah, we can get you that information. It'll take a little bit of time, but when he gets it back, I mean, it does show the key card of Catherine Fletcher was last signed out around. She went out around 9:30 in the morning on the 5th of June. And then the other access coming through back and forth were Marjorie and Paul a couple times in the intervening period, not for very long, but just for an hour or two, each day at about twice a day. And then until this morning when open access then was given to the FBI.
Yeah, special agents, when you talk to these two, try to find out if they have any of her data and research. It sounds like they were very limited to what they were given from the memo that Dr. Moss read. But that memo is like 2 years old, I believe. So they might have acquired some knowledge in that time that maybe you can.
Thanks for the input, Martin. We'll do that. Martin, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe Palm Pilots have any form of GPS where we could track her location.
Yeah, the Palm Pilot kind of predates the cell phone. They became this thing called the Trio when they actually added a cell phone to it. But we're looking at technology that's like over 20 years old. This is like pre-cellular, pre-smartphone anyway.
That was my next question. Dean,
Yeah.
did she have a smartphone?
She preferred, of course, the university provides then smartphones to all faculty in the research areas, but she much preferred her old flip phone.
She had a flip phone and a Palm Pilot. Yeah, because the Palm
You have a
Pilot wouldn't have the cellular access yet, but it's got, yeah, I
Keep
mean,
her.
you could,
Do you
yeah.
have a photo of her?
I don't have a photo to show of you, but he gives you a description of her. She's a woman kind of in her mid 40s or so. She's kind of tends to dress kind of a little bit frumpy, kind of short, kind of Bobby style hair with kind of thick rimmed glasses.
Mid 40s, and she uses a Palm Pilot.
Yeah, because she would have, was she like some
Yeah.
kind of brainiac kid who had one as a, she'd be like high school or college.
I don't know. I thought maybe she was going to be
Yeah,
old and afraid of
that's
technology
what I
or
was
something.
afraid. That's
Time.
what I was thinking. It's very interesting that she. How long has
Wait.
Dr. Fletcher been on staff or been a member of the faculty here at Miskatonic? How many years?
Well, let me see. Well, she did her doctoral work here as well.
Okay.
And then she was at I believe she was at the University of Florida for a couple of years, and then she was offered a position here. So she's been teaching here probably for a good probably about a good 20 years at this point.
20 years. Huh.
I would like Simon, since you're our profiler here, what is your assessment of this? She uses older technology despite, only being in her 40s, and we've already examined the lab. What do you think of it?
Well, given the limited amount of personal effects and some of the other information that we've gathered, it sounds like she was very careful with her research. She did not want it getting into anyone else's hands. A follow-up question, Dean, has there been any outside pressure from the DOE recently for any updates or things of that nature?
Well, I guess a little bit, because she's kind of been stuck for the last 6 months or so, and not being able to really expand the research, and the DOE is getting a little bit apprehensive, especially with the new administration. They're wanting, to cut funding across the board for things that are not producing, at least as they understand it. So yeah, there has been a little bit of pushback from the DOE recently.
Can I do a psychology roll on him? Because he's telling us things that aren't making a lot of sense.
What is it? What is it that you're looking for? So I know what direction you're heading.
His general attitude. I want to see if he's lying about anything, if he's nervous about anything. I know I'm being a little broad here, but
Okay. Yeah, you can give me a psychology
basically,
roll.
I want to see if he's being 100% truthful with us, or if he's leaving something out. I want to get that vibe.
Sure.
Yeah, he did kind of skirt around. Question.
Extreme success.
Extreme
Lovely.
success. This is a man who is the dean of a experimental physics department, whose livelihood is completely and 100% dependent upon government funding. And in the current climate, government funding is being slashed. He is worried about what that's ultimately going to mean for the university and what that's going to mean for him personally, about whether or not he's going to have a job if all the government funding gets cut. That's his big concern, is the money.
Martin, I bet you, if they were good assistants, this Mary Leonard and Paul Denning, I bet you they would back up her stuff, whether she knew about it or not.
I think you might be right about that.
Because the fear of losing it all would
Yeah.
be catastrophic.
It's very odd for someone of her age range to be this addicted to like a Palm Pilot and
Well, and
other
to not back up her stuff.
that too. It's interesting to me. Simon made a good point about that. I mean, if you wanted to keep stuff safe, you keep it off the internet, right? You keep it off a machine that's connected to the internet, which a Palm
Yeah.
Pilot wouldn't be. It would be. I mean, it would unless you'd have to do unless she's. I'd have to see her Palm Pilot, but most likely it's just a wire going into her old. Even her machine is old, so. I mean,
No,
yes,
I
they're
suppose
old
it's
machines, but there was a simplicity to them too. That if you wanted to keep stuff safe, you would use the older tech. Yeah,
I'm going to do a quick look at the computer case itself in the back and see if I can find any like wear marks that somebody had a portable hard drive they were plugging in and plugging out.
Mm,
Maybe she backed it all up and then just took that with her.
yeah,
Oh, like some scrapes on the old near the USB port.
Yeah, some scrapes or something indicating that she might have
Okay.
been doing that.
Yeah, you can give me a spot hidden roll on that.
38 out of 70. So that is almost a hard.
All right, so it's a regular success.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you go to the back because this is a Pentium 2, which I do believe did have USB 1.0, but the old Palm Pilots would often be connected via parallel ports. The good old-fashioned parallel ports. And you do notice that the old little wing nuts that used to, how they always would fall off after they get used too much, that they are missing. So basically someone has just they're off, but they just kind of pull that thing back and forth in and out. So
Yeah.
someone has been
So
using the parallel port.
Yeah, I tapped that and I pointed out to Martin. I said, there might be a copy. They might have been plugging in and plugging out a
yeah. She was
portable hard drive.
thinking, yeah, that's what it looks like. Good find, buddy.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense that a scientist wouldn't
It does.
meticulously and terrifiedly back up all their work.
Yeah,
Too many fires. A fire could happen and burn it all.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Well,
she,
there
she
is
does
just
seem
there
like
is the hard copy of everything that's here in the inner
Sure.
office.
That's what I was going to say. She seems like the type to use bound lab books instead of electronic copies of things.
I'd still have 3 copies. One off-site, one here.
Dean, are there any closed circuit cameras in this facility or on campus?
We had CCTVs in here. However, to be quite frank, Catherine's experiments kind of
Right them.
they never worked.
Well, yeah, I
She's
mean,
using
she's
high
supposed to
energy
send them.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
That could explain why she's using older technologies.
Yeah, maybe
That's
it's a little
true
more
too.
protected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dean, was she a creature of habit? Did she have a favorite cafe that she would go to every day for lunch? A favorite restaurant for dinner?
I bet her assistants would know that for sure.
Yeah. Well, you did find that those receipts for that takeout place, the Chinese takeout place that's nearby.
What if
Great,
she
thank you.
kept this secondary or this backed up information in her apartment? Maybe she was somewhat worried about it falling into her research partner's hands, or maybe she wanted control over the operation, so she'd take everything back home with her.
Or just in case the building burns down.
That too.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at her bound lab books and see if I can find the most recent one and see if there's anything that a normal human could understand in them about fears or concerns.
I'm gonna take a look over the equipment itself, like the cage and the different machines, because I remember there being something in that the document about geometrical symbols.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I'd like to take a look around the room too, just to see if there's, just to kind of the case the place to see if there's anything
Yeah.
I mean, I
Same
don't
here, looking
understand
for
all the
forensic.
science, but
Ben and I have a routine set up. We know how to cover a room.
Yep.
yeah.
And a scrap of paper might mean something. You
Yeah.
know, that
As you guys are just kind of doing your kind of meticulous work throughout the lab there, it just seems to be, for the most part, a orderly lab. She is very meticulous in the notes that she keeps. However, her notes are strictly factual. Special Agent Vendretti, you should appreciate that, but there's not any flights of fancy or her personal thoughts on anything. When you look at the notes, it is equation after equation after equation. You can kind of see where she's crossed some things out, where she's thought things have gone in the wrong direction, and then kind of continued on. But it is a very clean, well-organized shop.
Nothing in the manual has been just work. Straight up.
It's just straight work. There's not anything that's been removed. There's no like pages torn out or anything like that. What you would know is it's kind of standard procedure working for the government that even if you make a mistake, you can't just get rid of it. You just have to mark that it was a mistake and move on so that everything is always documented. And she was quite meticulous with that.
seems like you got a phone call and then had to go. I mean, right? She left rather abruptly. She seemed upset at 9:30 a.m.
She could be selling her stuff to the highest bidder. I don't know.
She's got a career of 20 years. She grew up here. I'm not sure that she would. I mean, we don't know that.
Speculation like that can lead us down a rabbit hole. It's better that we stick to what we know.
Well,
We'll leave that
Good point,
sort of
Ben.
thing up to Simon to figure out if
we
she's
need
that
to-
kind of person.
Is
We
there
need
a
to
fish?
I
We
bet
need to
Simon
search her
puts
place.
it-
We need to talk to her lab assistants. We need to maybe talk with local PD to see why they delayed so long for a missing persons case.
Marion Leonard's here, isn't she? But that's
Marjorie, you're talking about Marjorie. Well, Marion Leonardo is the IT person. Marjorie
sorry.
Klein is the lab technician, and
Okay.
Paul Denning is her grad student, her doctoral student.
Marjorie Klein.
Marjorie
Is
Klein
she
is the
here?
lab technician. She will be arriving very shortly, as soon as
Okay.
you guys have done anything that you need before she arrives, and then she will arrive.
I bet Simon's looking forward to seeing her apartment. I know I want to see her tech, but you probably could learn a little more about her, just, seeing where she lives and, what she does when she's not, on the job, it sounds like. So,
I think the question's going to come down what could be the emergency.
yeah.
A dying parent. She wasn't married, so not a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend.
We should all probably break up and follow these leads down one at a time. Just my suggestion, Simon, it might be best for you to check her personal life, see if anything happened. Me and Joe we can hit up the lab assistant and the grad student, shake them down for any information they might have. Anybody else got any ideas?
I would like to visit her apartment as well. I will
so
go with
would I.
Simon.
We
Yeah.
should also track her path to the Chinese place where she does takeout. Maybe she stopped on her way out. We need to see if we can establish her path after she left the lab.
I do also agree with Agent Romero in that it seems very odd that the police didn't investigate this sooner. A week seems like a
Well, just a point of order. She's an adult, and so they can't investigate until there's probable reason that she might not have just taken off on vacation.
okay.
So it's
Yeah.
not odd. It's not odd that the police said, wait.
It's not odd that you waited either, because for all you knew, she was just sick at home in bed. You've
Right.
got a university to run, so
Yeah. Children are a different story, but adults, there's a longer period.
besides, when was the last time the Arkham police actually did anything serious?
Let's talk to Marjorie, Ben.
All right.
And
Yeah.
let's get the grad
I'll,
student
I'll
too.
go with Lawrence to the house.
Yep, me and Simon, I think, right, Simon?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to. I just want to see what other tech she has because that's where I'm most useful.
Okay, so the four of us will go to the house, and you two talk to uh,
Lab assistant and the grad
the
student.
lab assistants, and then you can meet us at the house.
Can do.
Okay.
Yeah, call us if something comes up that
Yeah.
you just give us a call if you need anything, any input.
We
Or-
should stop at the Chinese place on the way to investigate that lead.
We can do that. Do we have keys to her apartment, or are we going to do it the old-fashioned way?
There aren't keys to the I mean, because she has her own keys.
Yeah,
The super would probably be able to open them up when you get there. So yeah. So you won't have to break it down or anything.
Yeah.
So all right. Let's start off with because it's closer. Let's start off then with the grad student and the lab tech. So both Marjorie and Paul arrive shortly thereafter, after the other four have left. So it's just Agent Romaro and Agent Vendretti who are still present. And then, yeah, so Marjorie arrives and Paul Denning. Marjorie kind of arrives. She's kind of a very smart kind of suit that she's wearing. She has the lab jacket on and everything. And Paul Denning looks like your typical grad student. He's just kind of fallen out of bed 10 minutes ago.
Ms. Klein, Mr. Denning, I'm Special Agent Joseph Vendretti. This is my partner, Special Agent Ben Ramiro. We're here to investigate the disappearance of the professor.
Yeah, Catherine. Oh, yeah. We just heard about that this morning. That I hadn't seen her in a week, but
Is that normal?
no, not at all. But she's not been quite herself lately.
How so?
She's been a little bit off kilter. Remember her talking? She all of a sudden she's just been talking a whole lot more recently about her old mentor, Dr. Kismet. Kissmet.
What can you tell us about Dr. Kismet?
Honestly, I don't know a whole lot about him. I know he used to work here in the physics department here at Miskatonic. I believe he was in some sort of accident back in the 90s.
So he's local.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's dead.
Hmm.
Was Dr. Fletcher a person of regular habits?
Oh, gosh, yes. She was very meticulous. Yeah, she always arrived every morning at 8 o'clock. If there wasn't something pressing, she would leave at 5. If there was something pressing, she would stay until the experiment was finished. But she was always get things recorded and cleaned up and leave shortly thereafter. She had the same lunch every single day.
Was that at this Chinese place?
Oh yeah, she just loved the dumplings that they have there.
Has she ever gone missing before?
Not well. Paul says not as long as I've known her. I've been her doctoral student for the last 3 years. I don't know about. And Marjorie kind of chimes in. No, I've been her lab tech for the last 7 years, and the woman's not even taking a vacation.
Ms. Klein, you were here on June 5th, the afternoon she left. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, she left. I think it was around 10 or so that she probably took off.
10 a.m. Using your own words, can you tell us what happened?
Well, she came in and she started running her experiment. Experiment lasted till 2 o'clock. Again, that was a bit strange. She kind of left a bit early from that. I recorded the data, of course, for her since she wasn't here. Like I said, when she left around 10, she said, "What? She said something a bit odd. What was it again? Let me think." something about he has some of it. I don't really know what that means.
Ben, did you have any questions you wanted to ask them?
Mm. I'm sure as a character he would, but as a player, I'm not sure.
Was it normal that she um, would delete the data on her computer?
Both of them kind of look at you a bit dumbfounded. She deleted the data on her computer.
Our specialist couldn't find any data on her computer. Might she have stored it anywhere else?
And it said the computer had been reset to factory settings.
Oh, no, that's no. I mean, we weren't even allowed to ever turn off that computer.
Who
So
else would have
I'm
had access to this building?
well. There's just us, Dr. Fletcher. I mean, even the dean's not really allowed in here without one of us being present.
Ms. Klein, you mentioned she said he has it. Did I write that down correctly?
That yeah, it was something that he has it.
He has it. Does that make any sense to Mr. Denning?
Oh, honestly, I don't know. I mean, the only we were having some issues with our experiments, and there's a piece missing. I don't know. Maybe she has a contact, someone that she worked with, a colleague or something that might had an answer. I honestly I don't know what it would be. I just know we've been stuck for the last 6 months or so without being able to make any progress because there's a hole in this theory that we can't plug.
Was that frustrating to you, Mr. Denning?
Well, of course it is. My PhD is dependent upon us getting this finished up.
Where were you the morning that she left?
Where was I? Well, well, to be quite frank with you, special agent, I was over at a
Please.
young lady's house.
Can you give us her information? We'll have to check with her to make sure, follow your alibi.
I don't think her husband would appreciate that.
That's irrelevant to the problem here. We have a woman missing. We have serious DOE situation going on here. A whole governmental department. We don't care that you're getting laid with somebody's wife. All right, we need to know
Mr.
what
Denning, we
happened.
can be very discreet. Ben is a master of discretion. Have no fear.
Yeah, I can tell. Sure. He gives you the woman's name and number.
Thank you. So for the last 6 months, your research hasn't been going well. Today, or the day she went missing, she looked frazzled and he said he has some of it and then left. Do I have that correct?
It sounds about right.
Is there anything else either one of you would like to let us know about? Anything that could be relevant to this case?
I mean, they're kind of racking their brains, and there's nothing particular that they can think of to kind of add to what they've already said.
Would you know if she consults with anyone off campus?
Well, there's not a lot of people in her field to be able to kind of collaborate with. Though she has been sending more emails than she used to.
And you wouldn't know to who
No,
because you weren't allowed on the computer.
exactly.
But you
Yeah,
said
so
earlier that you recorded the experiment of the day. Where did you record that at?
Oh yeah, that's in the book. And she goes and grabs the one of the manuals off the bookcase and hands it to you. And she shows you where she added the data. And as you can kind of look through it, and she kind of points it out to you that they've basically been getting the same results with just very minor deviations for the last 6 months. And she kind of points that out to show you that the experiment really hasn't changed all that much in the last 6 months, despite the changing of a lot of variables and things like that to try to come up with a different outcome that keeps happening over and over again.
Now, my guy's education is not the best, so I doubt I'm going to be able to make any heads or tails out of this. So
right, it's more like look,
nod.
This is the same, and this is the same, and she's giving a lot of technical mumbo jumbo, but at the end you're hearing same equivalency.
Ms. Klein, you have been here 7 years, correct?
It'll be 7 years in October.
Did you ever work with Dr. Kismet?
No. Dr. Kismet, I think he, like I said, Paul said, I believe he died back in the late 90s.
Oh, that long. Do you know of anyone in the department that did work with him?
Honestly, with how, with funding around here, there's not been a lot of people. No, there's not really anyone else in here that worked with Dr. Kismet that I'm aware of.
Do you think the department would have copies of his data or lab journals?
They might be. You might need to talk to Dean Finch about that. But yeah, we don't have anything here in the lab. That's for certain. I know that.
Anything else, Ben?
At the moment, no, but we can always come back.
Thank you for your time, Ms. Klein, Mr. Denning. Please let us or the dean know if you're going to be leaving town, doing anything unusual. We may need to get in contact with you again.
Certainly. Paul says, I'm going to be here. I've got my future is dependent upon this lab.
Very good.
Okay. All right, then. Let us switch over to our less field and special agents section. You guys said you wanted to stop off at the Chinese takeout place first?
Yeah, if it's open.
Yep. I'm getting hungry.
Middle of the day, you probably would have gotten there around 10 or 10:30 in the morning. And it's probably around 1 or 2 o'clock after you guys finished up and headed out. So yeah, it'd still be open. They're finishing up their kind of end of the lunch hour crowd.
Well, with some special agents here, I mean, don't be shy. If you're hungry, order something. I know a special agent Vendretti can be a little tough, but
well, we didn't get any breakfast. We didn't have coffee or donuts, or
bear claws. So
I'm starving.
I'm gonna order a Singapore noodles.
I'm gonna just order I'm gonna order some stuff, but I'm also gonna order the dumplings because maybe Simon can try them to try to get into her head.
Okay.
I hear they're probably pretty good.
All right. You order some food. Interesting about the dumplings is the kind of the filling's a little bit different. It's they add a bit of ginger to their filling in the dumplings, which gives it a nice little extra brightness that you're not used to kind of tasting in the dumplings.
Simon, why don't you try one? Maybe you can see what we're not seeing.
I'm gonna talk to the person working the counter, or see if they know. Do they know Dr. Fletcher? See if they know her by name. She probably puts some orders in to pick.
Probably seen her every day that she comes in.
Yeah. I'm just gonna ask him. Hey, what do you know about this lady? And then, when's the last time you saw her?
Oh, Dr. Fletcher. Let's see. Yeah, she's not ordered her dumplings. It's probably been about a week or so. Let me look. And he goes and opens up the credit card app that they use. Yeah, the last time she ordered dumplings was on the 4th of June.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So thank you very much for that info. Just was wondering when was the last time she was here. Did you notice anything about her the last time you saw her? Was she a little, did she seem a little different or anything? Distracted?
Um, Now that you mention it, I wouldn't say distracted. She was always a woman of very direct, kind of knew what she wanted. But she smiled.
Never smiled for you before?
Not that I've ever noticed.
Hmm.
Did she ever come in with somebody and eat?
Oh, occasionally she would bring her that young man that works for her. Oh, what was his
Mr.
name?
Denning?
Paul Denning?
Paul, yes, Paul. He'd come in every once in a while with her. Not all the time, but every once in a while. She would usually buy him some fried rice.
So the last time she ate here was the day before she disappeared.
Yeah. Smile. Well, this is very, very delicious. Could see why she liked it.
Oh, well, come back anytime. We're open from 9 to 9.
Oh,
What's the name of the Chinese restaurant?
Chinese restaurant number 3.
Okay. Just afraid there for a second you're going to say the Black Dragon. All right. I don't think there's anything here, except that she seemed to have a mood change just before she disappeared. I'm saying this quietly, not in front of the
yeah.
fella.
Yeah. Seemed to have a relationship
Maybe
with
she
Paul,
had
at
a,
least.
maybe that's it. Maybe she had a breakthrough and then went to test it and then found that it didn't break through and then she was upset and she left. And I don't know how these people think. That's Simon's area of expertise.
Yeah. What do you think, Simon?
Well, I think if she was really overwhelmed with a failure, I don't think the typical thing would be to go for your normal everyday lunch. So, and the fact that she smiled being such a oddity for, the gentleman here to remember, those are two indicators that might seem more that she was in a positive mood.
Yeah, but that was the day before.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was the
next
day
morning
after that
seemed
she
frazzled and disappeared the next
I'm
morning.
wondering if, sometimes when I stress out, I go to a spa. Maybe she just had to get away for a week. I hope she just shows up.
I think we should look in our house to determine that.
Yeah.
Because the question is why is her computer erased?
Yeah. That's a big one.
Martin, did you come up with if there's been any credit card use or anything like that since the
I'm gonna make a call to have the credit card. Martin's pretty good with numbers. I'm gonna say that when he was overlooking the owner or the person at the counter looking it up, he caught the number of the credit card, and he's gonna call it in. Have the guys down in DC or something down at the bureau chase it for him.
Well, yeah, we're
When's the
FBI.
last time? Yeah, I mean we can get it. So yeah, I'm gonna have them.
And her car license plate.
Yeah.
Maybe see if we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you would know. Yeah, her car is not at her faculty spot at the university.
Okay, so we'll check to see if it's at the house, and if it's not the house, we'll run the.
I assumed Arkham PD did that kind of check at least. like put out an APB for her car, things like that.
More
Right.
than likely that would be, yeah, standard operating procedure and things like that. Martin, I will say they do get back to you about the credit card. The last charge that they found on her credit card was at 12:30 p.m. on the 5th of June at a Phillips 99 gas station a little west of Arkham.
12:30.
Big orange ball.
So right after noon.
So she filled up her car, or somebody filled up a car. We should probably check that out. See if we
That
can
happened 3 hours after she left.
Yeah. So she's filling up a car to go somewhere,
And
or somebody is filling up a
where
car.
was the gas station?
It was off of a kind of a little small road that is just leading out of Arkham to the west.
Okay.
So
Kind of out into the hill country.
I bet you then we find some stuff at her house because
Yeah.
she left at 9:30 from the university. She must have gotten to her house within 15 minutes and then did something for 2.5 hours before she left town.
Probably packing and getting. Well,
Maybe.
let's take a look at her house, see what state it's in. I mean,
It doesn't seem like she would be irresponsible and not tell somebody
yeah,
where she was going.
yeah, unless it was something emergency. Yeah, she didn't tell her two people, I don't think, that she was leaving because they seemed, from what I heard,
Even
that
she
they
didn't
know
even
anything.
lie to them, which is,
Yeah,
sometimes the situation's too complicated to go over and you just say, I've got a sick aunt and I've got to go.
yeah,
She didn't say anything
she just left. Yeah.
or leave a note.
Yes, I think we should head over to the house. But before we go, I'm going to pick up some food to go for the special agents, Joseph, and especially Ben, because Ben probably couldn't
Get some of those dumplings. Those dumplings will keep. They're good.
Yeah, let's get some of those for them.
It's like dim sum.
They got to eat.
Okay. So you guys are now heading over to Catherine's apartment. Okay. Before we get there, Ben and Joseph, you guys were wanting to do something else, if I remember correctly. You were wanting to talk to one other person, or am I misremembering?
We wanted to talk to the grad student and the lab assistant, and then we were going to meet them at the
House.
professor's apartment. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I thought there was. Okay. My mistake. I thought you were wanting to talk to one other person.
And we did eat.
Is there somebody we should talk to?
No, I just thought I remember. I just thought I remember you saying you wanted to talk to one other person. That's why I was just checking. All right.
No, we
All right, then.
actually floated the idea of stopping by and talking to the cops, but that got thrown away.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. Yeah, you guys head back. All meet up then. Well, actually, because you guys did stop to eat. That you will probably arrive at the apartment around about the same time at that point.
Well, we're probably keeping track on our phones of where we were going. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he's
We
bringing
were
some
doing
food
valuable
for them.
reconnaissance at the Chinese restaurant.
Okay. Yeah, you arrive at her apartment. And there are a couple of just Arkham police that are kind of keeping guard outside of her apartment there. There aren't any other FBI agents who have been here, just the Arkham police have kind of been here. They had already gotten the superintendent to open up the door, and that's as far as they've gotten. They've not searched it in any way because they were told this is an FBI jurisdiction, and so not to deal with it. You guys go in. You see a very meticulous kind of kept apartment. Almost seems like she cleans like every day type of thing. It's a little 2-bedroom apartment, not a whole lot there. She does seem to have an interest in Shakespeare. So she has a lot of the sonnets and the plays, and she's got posters and things like that. She's gone to several productions of various shows. So she's got some theater posters and things like that. So she does seem to be somewhat interested in the plays of Shakespeare. She does also, like you had at her lab, she does have a couple of whiteboards in here with all sorts of equations and things on that. However, there is one thing that's a little bit different here, is that there are actually Um, on her board, there's more than just mathematical notations. There's a lot of different symbols. And there are in separate, there's three sets of symbols, each of them kind of in their own little columns. Yeah.
I think Dr. Moss instantly goes over to this because this is kind of his thing, occult and historical symbols. So he immediately sort of goes over to it and he's going to start looking at them, maybe as a notebook. He's comparing them to different, like a guide sort of he's made over the years, but he's going to start trying to identify them.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me, since you want to try it from an occult angle, go ahead and give me an occult roll.
All right, that will be against my 70.
Now, these symbols are mixed in with all of her mathematical equations, right?
They are.
I got a 69 under the 70.
All right. A pass is a pass. But yeah, like actually, as Ben just kind of pointed out, she seems to be using well, first off, you don't recognize them as being from any known occult practice. They're not any religious symbols that you know or anything like that. They are something foreign in that respect. But it does seem like she's using them as within the formulas that she's doing. And she is making predictions and theoretical projections based upon these symbols being incorporated into her equations.
And I also have a 70 in history. There's no historical thing here, as well as them being like seals of some kingdom or something like that.
Not of which they have no known origin.
Well, she seems to have. I cannot identify these symbols.
She seems to have assigned them some sort of meaning in the equation. Maybe there's a primer somewhere, with a list of them and what they mean.
I want to search the apartment.
Yeah, she's got two bedrooms and she's a single person. I'm guessing one's the office and one's her bedroom. I'm going to see her office because I just want to see what kind of she has a computer or anything here. Try to find her Palm Pilot. And I'd recommend checking the bedroom, see if it looks like she packed in a hurry or something. Yeah.
Okay. I want to use my forensics to see when the last time she was here. Was she here the day she left, or was she here yesterday and then left?
Okay. Yeah. All right. For those that are doing kind of just some general searches around the apartment, give me a spot hidden. For those who are doing something more specific, like Martin, give me a kind of a computer use roll, and then Fort, if you could give me a forensic roll as well.
I got an 11 out of 70, so that is an extreme.
That is an extreme.
Wait,
it'd be close. Okay.
I got a 33 out of 70 on computer use, which is a hard.
Okay. All right. And
I got a hard on spot hidden.
Okay.
I'm going to drop one of my 60s into spot hidden.
Okay.
Oh, I also put one of my 60s into accounting earlier, but I don't think we made a roll on it yet, but it's already marked off.
Okay.
No.
Quick question.
Yes.
We saw all of her documentation and everything that she was doing equation-wise at the college. She's very neat and concise. Is there anything to suggest on these boards that she might have been more frantic, or maybe just not that normal, very concise person that she is?
Give me a psychology roll.
38 pass.
All right. All right. So we've got a lot of things happening. So we'll kind of go in some orders of things. First off, we'll do with kind of the general kind of surroundings of what's going on in the apartment first. So we'll go from larger, then we'll kind of shrink it down to the micro. As far as you can tell, in terms of the general apartment itself, she does appear to be a woman that lives by herself. She doesn't seem to entertain all that much either. So there's, everything seems to be pretty neat and orderly. Nothing seems a bit out of place in regard to that. when we move to Simon, you're looking at her equations. Her handwriting isn't quite the same as it was. You could tell it's written by the same person, but it is more frantic. It isn't as deliberate. It's a little bit more rushed. You're also noticing that occasionally when she's writing letters or numbers, things will just kind of veer off into a strange angle and then kind of come back all of a sudden. So yeah, it definitely seems something's not quite the same. Something's different. You're not quite sure what it is yet at this point, but something is definitely different. Fort. Yes, you can tell. Probably by the fact that the cats are really, really hungry, that she's not been here for several days. So it does not appear as if she's been back. In fact, and this would go for the larger one as well, her luggage is still in her closet. It doesn't seem that there's extra clothes have been taken out of her drawers or anything like that. Nothing extra taken out of any of the closets or drawers. It seems like someone went out for the afternoon and just did not come back.
Yeah, she did not plan to go somewhere. There's no indication of planning. She left her cats. I'm going to feed the cats. But people who have pets don't usually just walk off and leave them.
Yeah.
So my guess is she was planning on coming right back, and she got waylaid or something.
Yeah, but she did fill her car going out, leaving on a road leading out of town.
She might have been almost out of gas already, and just had to fill up.
The timing is interesting, though. Did they say at the Chinese restaurant what time she was there?
No, but it was the day before.
It was the day before.
Oh, that was the day before.
Yeah, she did the day of a couple hours after she left the university, outside of town, going west. She stopped at a gas station. I'm gonna kind of look at some of the things I have. I want to see if I see any other. Does she use this gas station all the time? I just.
Or where does that road go? Is that heading towards Salem or?
That's one of the things I wanted to search for. I wanted to see if there was anything here that could help us find more about Dr. Kismet.
Right. Actually, Martin, how did you do on your computer use roll?
I got a hard success.
You got a hard success. Okay. Yeah, you go in, and she has actually, she has another kind of IBM PS2 that's here. However, this one does have a modem in it. And so it still connects up. She's got her AOL that she dials into. And you were looking through her emails and things like that. And you do notice that about 3 weeks ago, she gets an email from Dr. Kismet, Lyle Kismet. There is a kind of a string of, as you're kind of going through the email thread itself, she's at first a bit skeptical. She says, you died back in 1999. What kind of prank or joke is this? But then the person at least purporting to be Dr. Kismet sends a photograph with a newspaper with a recent date on it as proof of life type of thing. And it shows a kind of a middle-aged man in his 50s, kind of particular kind of professorial kind of look, holding up the local Miskatonic Times paper from just maybe last week or so. However, there is the last email that you do come across.
Dr. Catherine Fletcher, K. Fletcher at expenergy.misku.edu. To Dr. Lyle Kismet, L. Kismet 1992 at netzero.net. Date, Monday, 5 June 2025 at 9:42 a.m. 17 seconds. Subject, meeting. The body says, Lyle, I have read your most recent notes carefully. I think what you are proposing is compatible with the earlier framework we tested, even with the risks DOE warned us about back then. I will meet you at the old lab just as you requested. No one else has been informed, Catherine. The old lab.
Notice the timing of that
Yeah.
is
That's right when
an
she
hour
left.
before
Mhm.
she disappeared, or before she left the lab.
Um,
So the dead professor is not dead.
Yeah, apparently he faked his death or something.
And we have our missing person heading out to their old lab.
I mean, it's 2025, and I know she uses old technology. It sounds like this Kismet guy may as well.
Seriously, she's using AOL.
But, things can be faked. If someone was pulling her leg, I mean, with AI, you could easily fake this. I'd have to look at this digital image a little more carefully, try to
She-
determine if it's artificially generated, photoshopped, as we call it.
she
Um,
easily might not be in the know about these sort of things using this older technology, so she could be actually quite vulnerable to it.
I have to keep
Joe is
asking
getting
myself why it's irritating me that this 40-year-old woman doesn't know technology. That's just bizarre.
I mean,
Joe is
spend-
going to get on the phone and call the dean to see if he can find out about this old lab.
Yep. And while he's doing that, I would like to actually go to the bookshelf, if she has a bookshelf, and see if she has any books, anything of interest, but also anything by Kismet.
Bet she does.
Actually, yeah, you're scrolling through. There isn't anything that's been published by Kismet on her bookshelf. Mainly what's there are various editions. She seems to be a collector of various editions of the works of Shakespeare, and that's what she's got.
So-
I would like to put 50 in my spot hidden and see if she has a particularly worn or well-used copy of Shakespeare, or like a preferred one. So I would like to, if possible, roll for that.
Sure, go ahead.
That is an 11 under 50, so hard success.
Hard success. All right. Yeah, there's actually, she does seem to have a late 16th century edition of the works of Shakespeare that, despite its age, seems to be the one she's most interested in. Because you find all sorts of little pieces of paper in there with all sorts of basically acting like in his bookmarks and things like that.
With some degree of care and probably actually putting on a pair of gloves, I'm going to sort of set it out on the table and start like flipping through it and looking at it.
Okay. Yep. She does have an affinity for the Scottish play. All right. Agent Vendretti, you said you were wanting to get to contact with the dean about finding out about this old lab.
Correct. And also, Martin, was there anything with these notes that Kismet sent over in her email or on her computer?
the notes.
The notes are not. There's no notes, not as far as you can tell.
There's no attachment to the email or anything.
No.
Okay, just the photo proving. Well, I want to see if I can look at the photo, maybe transfer it to my device, whatever I have, and see if I can tell if this is an AI image. I mean, I would think that as a 2025 FBI agent, I would know some of the tells.
Oh, yeah, and that does remind, because you were asking about it earlier. I just remembered. It does on this computer, her own computer. It does have the dock for a Palm Pilot, but the Palm Pilot is not there. Because I knew you were asking about that earlier, so I just remembered that. So the dock is there, right? The dock is there, but the Palm Pilot itself is not there.
Yeah, well, that tells me that all of her information might be on that Palm Pilot when she went to meet whoever she's meeting, whether it is actually Kismet or somebody pretending to be Kismet to get that information. That's yet to be determined.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll take a look at the the photo just to see if it looks like it's got the tells of an artificial intelligence.
Okay.
Kind of
Give me a
Photoshop.
digital forensics roll. And while that's happening, Vendretti, yeah, you call up the dean real quick, and you ask him about this old lab. Would you just ask him about Catherine's old lab, or how is it that you're asking him?
Yeah, I ask him both about the lab that she and Dr. Kismet worked in the past, and also about the phrase she used, the risks the DOE warned us about back then. And just to find out any information he or the university has about those two things.
Okay. It takes him a little bit of time. He has to kind of check some files, and he says, what the only thing that I have in the files is Dr. Kismet was working on a DOE project, and let's see, and Fletcher was his a grad student at the time working with him, and they had a lab that was out west of Arkham.
That makes sense.
I don't have any information about what this project was. To be honest, the file's a little bit empty. There's normally stuff we have on all of the lab work that's being done, even for government use especially, but it's an empty file.
That's unusual. Might anyone else have copies? Perhaps the Department of Energy? Do you think
they would be the persons to look at, because we do not have it here.
Her contact, there was a Mr. Mercer, if I recall. Do you have his phone number?
Oh, the Director of Advanced Research Oversight. Well, he was the director under the Biden administration. Who is working under the Trump administration? I kind of that is a Mr. Henderson, and gives you the number.
Thank you, Dean.
Yep.
We're making progress. Please do stay in touch.
Certainly.
I got a regular success on my computer use for the digital forensics. For the looking at the photo to see if it's photoshopped.
It is not photoshopped. It is an actual image. And was it a regular or hard? I
it was just a regular success.
A regular. Okay. Yeah, it is. As far as you can tell, then it is not AI. It's not been photoshopped in any way. It's the image of a man in his mid-50s holding up a newspaper from last week.
Well, I want to verify that, like, see if we can find some old photos of Kismet, which I'm sure we can, just to make sure it's him. But it obviously convinced Dr. Fletcher that he's still alive. So he must have faked his own death or something. Yeah, that's the
Do
most
universities have yearbooks?
I
don't know if they do or not.
I went to a technical college, and yeah, we had yearbooks.
Back in the day, they would, but I don't know if they would still be doing it now, though.
But we're talking about. Hey, how old do you think I am?
Mine did, so they might still be.
No, I was just about to say I was at university in the '90s, so, and this is the time period we're dealing with. But I don't remember us having one, but
pictures of faculty,
Oh, there probably are. Yes, there. It wouldn't. Yeah. Let's just put it this way. No, it would not be too hard to find a picture of Kismet. Okay. And when you pull one up, you just do a Google image search and put Miskatonic University, and there is an image. And it says there's an image from 1997. And it is the exact same person that is in the photo. There is no aging.
Oh, guys, check this out.
It's got to be Photoshopped then, right?
No, I mean, it doesn't have any of the tells. I'm looking at the edges of everything. There's nothing that says that this was Photoshopped.
How old would he be now? 60?
Well, that would be 30 years ago. He would be 80 now.
Yeah,
80?
he would not look like
He would
this.
be in his 80s. Yeah.
The heck is going on here? This is not.
I'm going to
Maybe
get on the
the
horn to headquarters and
I,
get them to pull the file on Kismet because they said he worked on the Department of Energy, so there's going to be a government file on him.
That's right, Ben. The dean gave me contact information for the previous administration as well as their current oversight, Mercer at the DOE. Do you want to call them both or call either of them?
Yeah, I can call them both. It'll be fine.
I jokingly point out that that one symbol on the chalkboard looks an awful lot like Bill Cipher. If you're
What's a
familiar
Bill
with
Cipher?
Gravity Falls. There's a cartoon, the evil entity.
Yeah, I think my kid might have watched that. Is that the one where they're
Triangle
like
with an eye in the
Washington?
middle of it.
Yeah.
This is a little bit of a stretch, but I'm sort of listening to all this conversation in the background. I'm gonna like look at these symbols again and open up the Shakespeare book and see if like, okay, I can draw some parallels between the symbols and Shakespearean works or works particularly in Macbeth.
3 is a very important number in that work.
You can give me a combined literature and occult.
The Scottish play. I know that actors will not say the name of, well, we're not in a theater, so I'll say
It's
it.
bad luck.
Macbeth. It's bad luck to say it in a theater, so they call it the Scottish play.
So with my second 60 being put in literature, I rolled a 40 under 60, and that's the lowest number. 40 under 70 for occult too.
Okay. And that regular successes across the board for both of them then?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I can spend the luck to make it a hard on occult if needed. Actually, I can spend the luck to make it hard on everything.
Are you going to spend the luck?
Yes, I will. I'll spend the 10 luck.
Okay. Yeah, you're making it's with that actually. Give me a sanity roll.
All right. A success.
All right, just take a point off then. She is drawing parallels between these symbols and the spells that the weird sisters, the witches, use in the Scottish play. And as you're doing this, it's actually starting to make a little bit of sense, the equations she's been doing, as it seems to be warping space. That seems to be what she's trying to do.
I'm going to, can I further sort of delve into that with mathematics, just to like see if I can follow up on more of those connections, because does this make sense, or is she literally just going insane on government funding?
For this though, I am going to ask for an extreme mathematics, but yeah, you can give it a shot.
No, I actually just failed. So
all right.
Yeah. I'm not going farther into this. And
you're up to, it's for however you want to describe it then for yourself at this moment in time.
I honestly think, gentlemen, I think she's going quite mad. Simon, you could help with this. She's trying to use this she wants to warp space. She's drawing parallels between us. I'll hold up the Shakespeare in one hand and gesture to the board. The symbols here in the works of Shakespeare, the spells the three witches cast in Macbeth. So,
there is no way that even if Kismet was alive, that he couldn't age. There's just no way that could happen. And she just kind of accepted it as reality. Simon, do you think maybe she's gone insane? I'm not convinced that's
Well,
Kismet in the photo. I know I looked at it and it seems real, but
It could be Kismet's son, the way it
yeah,
looks.
we
Well,
need to get out to that old
And
lab.
and math and Shakespeare, that's just nonsense.
Yeah.
so
And
what you're
Shakespeare's
saying,
just made up nonsense.
What
so
if
what you're saying, Dr. Moss, is that she is using government funding to make magic.
Well, that's what she believes it is. I don't see, clearly this is delusion. What if, here's a theory, what if one of her students, Paul, for example, is taking advantage of a maybe deteriorating mental state, maybe just caused by stress or some other issue, and trying to, I don't know, maybe just use this as an opportunity to maybe he's behind on his work. Maybe he's trying to delay everything by, further encouraging this, and maybe he could just get a new project. I don't know. I'm not
I
quite.
hate to say it, but well, a broken clock is right twice a day. Maybe this is one thing that the current administration actually should be shutting down. It's a waste of money.
Well, this looks more like a batshit insane clock.
Yeah.
I think maybe we need to cut her some slack. I mean, you consider all of the astrophysics that are named after ancient Greek gods. It doesn't
Yeah,
mean
that's
that
a
they
fair point.
believe in the magic. She's just using some Shakespeare she got to name the thing something,
Mm.
and she doesn't have a
Also,
name. She's got a
that doesn't really,
placeholder, maybe.
her going crazy doesn't really fit with the pattern because all of her colleagues said that she was fine up until that morning.
And isn't quantum physics all about multi dimensions? And maybe that's why it all looks like nonsense.
Wasn't there something in the paperwork the dean gave us? Does anybody still have a copy of that?
Which part?
The memo from the DOJ or
It's
the
in the
DOE
Discord
rather.
chat.
Department of Energy, yeah.
What bothers me here is I've done a little bit of work in mathematics, mainly in my early graduate career. I lost interest in it, but it's the fact that she uses these symbols as variables. They seem oddly inconvenient to draw each time.
Mm.
The fact that there's some sort of physical reaction to these experiences, or to the experiments rather, could possibly indicate that uh, these mixtures of ideas with math and her love of Shakespeare, it could just be a melting pot.
Yeah, scientists have their brains all over the place, right?
We find inspiration in odd places.
But her research notes, etc., seem to be from someone who's very regular, very straightforward in her actions and thoughts. Um, if she does think there's something to this, I think it would be hard for us to call it magic. Just science we can't understand.
Now
Like
the
Arthur C. Clarke
email
said, yeah.
Yeah.
the email she got from Kismet said that here, hold on. Sorry. Uh, was saying that their findings matched with whatever he had sent her, right? And the Department of Energy readout that we have said that they were basically changing her implementation because of secondary phenomena that was happening, which was instrumentation was getting time lagged, electromagnetic readings were going weird, and there were weird geometric patterns happening on the the devices. But I'm pretty sure that if we line that up, that the change that the DOE made her do is what led her project to stagnating, because they've been talking about how they'd be getting the same readings over and over again. So whoever sent her the picture from Kismet is betting that she is desperate enough to come out to the middle of nowhere to see something that's going to push this research back on track.
And
so the best bet is we probably have somebody trying to kidnap this woman.
That seems really likely.
And that's
frankly,
was
they
20
probably
days
already
ago.
got her.
Yeah, that was 20 days ago.
Yeah.
The 5th. It's the
So we need to
25th.
find out where this old lab is, because that's probably where our best bet to picking up the next piece of this trail is.
The dean gave us the address of the old lab, Ben, so we can go there immediately.
Well, no, he gave you the how to get in contact with the Department of Energy.
Right.
He only knew that it existed west of Arkham.
Right. And Ben, you were going to call the DOE contact, correct?
Yeah, I'll do that now.
I would like to actually, if this whiteboard has another side, I just want to look at the other side. If it's one of those like freestanding ones that you can flip around.
Yeah, it's all filled with equations, and it's all very similar to the stuff that's on the other side.
Okay, just because we haven't looked at that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's something else weird. Okay, the time of event, she's at the university. She gets the email. It distresses her. She leaves, but before she leaves, does she erase her computer? If that's the case, then she came back here and then got ready and went, but she didn't erase her chalkboards. So did she erase her computer, or did somebody else erase her computer? Because why wouldn't she then erase her chalkboards? If
I
she's trying
couldn't
to
determine that. It's quite possible. Maybe the Department of Energy sent someone in to do it. Maybe this Paul fella. I don't know.
Maybe whoever kidnapped her, if there's kidnapping, came in and erased that so that they would have exclusive rights to whatever she's got in her head.
Yeah, which would also be on her Palm Pilots, which she probably took with her when she went to go see Dr. Kismet or whoever this clever. It's got to be somebody faking this, but
can you return a computer to its factory settings and erase the hard drive without knowing the password?
It'd be really tough to do. I mean, you can wipe a computer, you can damage it, especially those older models. That you could do it with a magnet, like refrigerator magnets.
That's true.
Stick them in there. You can wipe all kinds of data.
Wow, with all that equipment in that room, with all that.
And they mentioned that they were having all kinds of weird things with electronic devices. Maybe whatever experiment she was working on with this energy wiped everything away, and it's like we're chasing a wild goose that somebody did it, even her. Maybe that cage or whatever that thing is, I have no idea.
It did look like a Faraday cage, but not all the way around them.
Yeah, it wasn't quite the Faraday cage. It's possible
radio signal.
It's possible something they were doing, an experiment or something, wiped her drive too. There was no way to tell, but it was like having a factory reset computer off the shelf. I mean, you can always tell when somebody's erased their data. There's always something somewhere, but this wasn't there.
They wanted to make sure that nobody else could get that data.
Yeah.
But then they ignore her equipment here. I mean, if they're smart enough to figure out that they needed to wipe the data at the university, they would realize that she was a functioning scientist and should have backups.
Yeah,
that's why I didn't
I'm
think
leaning
that she
towards
would
the
do it.
experiment. One of something she was running, or one of her Paul or Margie, right? That
the
they were
impulse.
running. It might have wiped it completely clean. because she doesn't have that going on here in the apartment. So that's still here. So maybe we're just chasing a wild goose chase that somebody deliberately did it. Maybe it was the nature of this experiment, because we have, what the DOE was saying, how it was affecting, different electronic devices and things. And
we still
it
have
could
the
also be
email, though,
and
with
it also mentioned
deliberation in question.
it seemed to be affecting people. So maybe she became affected by being exposed to these
Well,
experiments.
isn't our brain all just electrochemical?
Yeah. So
Gentlemen, I
Yeah.
think that is all very interesting, but it appears that we have a classic, what do they call it, catfishing case here, where someone is posing as an important figure to
Get her
do
out
who
there.
knows what,
We need to
and
find that lab.
yeah.
we need to find the lab and follow up on the more salient points we have.
Yeah.
Simon,
It's
am
been
I
25
incorrect
days,
in
20
thinking that
days.
an older woman is particularly susceptible to such a catfishing attempt?
Um, no, and the likelihood increases even more when you involve someone that was in their lives.
Then I think it's time to make that call.
Well, I think we need to locate this lab first. We should do a quick look around, see if she took any photos with Doctor the
Head
dead
west.
doctor in front of the lab, or she has any information within her apartment about the potential
Yeah.
location.
I'll start looking through all of her stuff and see if there's a reference to the address out there.
I'll do that as well too.
I'll get on the horn, see if I can get any kind of information on Kismet.
You could also see if maybe it's in his family, like the property's owned in his family, or the property's owned by Miskatonic.
Yeah, it might be privately owned.
Yeah.
Okay. The only thing that you find at the apartment that has to do with Dr. Kismet and Dr. Fletcher is there is an old photo of the two of them together. What looks to be when Catherine was probably a grad student. So it's a much younger woman, kind of in her early 20s at the time. It's kind of the library building there at Miskatonic University with her and Dr. Kismet, who looks still the same age as the photo that was in the email that Martin was looking at. But there's nothing necessarily specifically about about the location. Now, however, Agent Romero, when you call Director Henderson, which is the contact that you have at the Department of Energy, he calls him up. What is it that you're asking him?
Sorry, let me unmute myself. I need to know what he knows about what Kismet was researching, if he had any off-site. Basically, I want to know, where he did the research and any connection that he knows that Kismet would have with Fletcher.
Okay. Because this was about 20 years ago, so he doesn't personally have any information, but he starts typing into his computer, and his voice changes a little bit and says, can I put you on hold for a minute?
You are not going to put me on hold.
Click, he puts you on hold.
Mother.
Well, he is.
My mother-in-law does this to
director.
me.
It might be
maybe.
classified, but tell him that we've got a missing doctor and that we need to know where that lab is.
Couple of minutes pass, and when you come off of the elevator music stops, and on the other end of the voice is a different voice. On the other end of the line is a different voice. It says, "This is Secretary Wright. I hear you're asking about some information that's highly classified. Can I ask what you need this for?"
My name is Special Agent Ben Romaro of the FBI. I'm currently investigating a missing persons case. And all of our leads so far are leading us to a Dr. Kismet. Now, we believe that our missing persons has been lured to their previous site, and I need information on how he relates to my missing person and the location of this site.
You said you're special agent of the FBI.
Yes.
You should already have all this information then.
Well, I don't. I was given your the contact information for whatever his name was, DOJ.
We just started on the project an hour ago.
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
Well,
maybe we need to check our own files.
yeah, over the phone, all I can tell you is that the FBI and the DOE worked on this case in the 90s.
All right, thank you.
Click.
There was a case in the 90s.
Secretary of the Department.
So we have something
Energy.
highly classified that Mr. Kismet was working on in the 90s that nobody wants to talk about. Because
The
I just
FBI
got
was-
forwarded to a Secretary of State.
Well, he's the Secretary of the Energy.
I'm sorry,
It
Secretary.
was not Marco Rubio. It was Chris Wright. So
Yeah.
very different.
All right.
I'm
So-
wondering if
Sounds
Was-
like Frank sent us into the field without all the information.
We need to call Frank and get that. Then I think
All right. I'm
He's
going to call
gotta
Frank
give
then.
it to us. The old case.
did Kismet die or did he disappear
Hmm.
in the 90s?
We need everything on Kismet
Yeah.
that we have at the
Well,
FBI.
we would have
everything.
access to FBI database, wouldn't we?
Back at the FBI. Because you need for classified data, you'd need a secure
Yeah.
room, a skiff type of thing.
We need to head back to the office, do some more research.
You got to get
Okay.
this
Indeed.
given to us here in Arkham. We don't have time. I mean, if she disappeared, it was 20 days ago. If she was lured,
No, it was a week ago.
a week.
It's the
I'm
12th.
sorry. It's
It's
the
the 12th.
12th. I'm sorry. I keep thinking I don't know why I thought it was the 25th. Oh, it's the 2025. Then sorry. I apologize. Yeah. So 12 days. It's still a lot of time since she's been lured. So
But we don't know where this offsite lab is. So
Yeah,
we have
but
to
it
find out more
apparently
information
we-
about Kismet.
yeah, we should get that from we should get that from FBI records then because they were investigating
90s
it before.
case.
The 90s case. We need those 90s files.
All right. Let's head to the archives. Library use. Oh,
Actually, might as well give a library use.
Ooh. I gotta pick a library use thing.
do you want me to?
I love
do you
having
want
these-
me to roll that, or
Yeah, why don't you do that? Yeah.
Okay.
Are we going back to our office to look for this? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we're gonna have to. We
Okay.
can't do it remotely,
Yeah.
and
Right.
I think
Yeah.
we've
And to fill
tapped
out all of
the
our paperwork,
apartment. Yeah,
Right.
right.
create a case file.
All right.
Take all of our
Since
photographs.
I've probably done this sort of thing a few times. I'm gonna dump one of my 50s into library use.
Okay.
Oh, right on heart success.
Hard success. All right. Excellent. Yeah, this is because of the date of this. These files have not yet been digitized. So you're actually dealing with hard copies of things, actual papers, hence library use. And yeah, this is where I do have to give you guys a bit of a data dump. There are 4 documents that you find related to Kismet in your files.
Classified top secret, SAP handle via redacted channels only. United States Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Investigation in Washington, D.C. Date, June 15th, 1992. 2, redacted, United States Department of Energy. from redacted Federal Bureau of Investigation. Subject, recovered material and subject transfer, Potter's Lake incident. On 9 June 1992, during the course of a Bureau-sanctioned surveillance and recovery operation at Potter's Lake, Kansas, field agents encountered and secured an unusual deposit of material exhibiting anomalous physical and energetic properties. The operation was terminated prematurely due to hazardous environmental distortions and unanticipated interference phenomena. Observations: the recovered material possesses a non-terrestrial isotopic composition inconsistent with known classifications. Surrounding the material were localized distortions in electromagnetic and gravitational readings noted to affect both personnel and recording equipment. Several surfaces proximate to the material bore symbols or glyphs that do not correspond to any known written language. Analysts report repeating geometric patterns, but no known cultural analogs. Initial testing on site was deemed unsafe. Samples have been sealed under controlled conditions for Department of Energy evaluation. Personnel: Dr. Lyle Kismet, formerly attached to redacted research laboratories, were located at the site and taken into protective custody. Preliminary debriefing suggests Kismet may have prior knowledge of the material's properties. His transfer to DOE custody is scheduled under secure chain of responsibility. Recommendations: DOE assumes full jurisdiction for analysis and containment. FBI personnel remain available for supplemental field investigation, forensic analysis, or interagency liaison functions under SAP authority. Action: pursuant to Presidential Directive Redacted, this communication constitutes formal transfer of custody and responsibility. Further instructions will be awaited from Department of Energy. Signed, Redacted, Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Okay. And then if someone could read evaluation of Lyle Kismet next.
Classified, top secret, handled via approved channels only. United States Department of Energy. Office of Psychological Services, Advanced Research Division. Date, March 12, 1999. Evaluator, Dr. Miriam A. Lowell, Senior Clinical Psychologist. Subject, final psychological evaluation of Dr. Lyle Kismet, age 55. Background: Dr. Lyle Kismet, formerly principal investigator in advanced materials research associated with the Potter's Lake recovery in 1992, has undergone repeated psychological assessments since his transfer into the Department of Custody. Following multiple interventions, this document represents the final evaluation prior to administrative determination of his status. Observations follow. Appearance and behavior: Dr. Kismet presents as disheveled with poor grooming habits and erratic sleep patterns. He demonstrates bursts of intense focus, alternating with long periods of agitation and verbal incoherence. Mood and affect: is markedly unstable. Displays grandiosity regarding his mission and alternating paranoia towards DOE personnel. Affect fluctuates rapidly between manic excitement and depressive withdrawal. Speech and thought content: tangential, heavily laden with metaphorical and occult references. Frequently returns to themes of time travel, restoring balance, and undoing historic wrongs. Claims prologue absences represent journeys through angular corridors. Perception: reports persistent auditory hallucinations described as hounds at the edge of hearing, and visual distortions involving angles and shadows. Cognition. In, intellect remains intact in narrow technical domains. However, higher level reasoning and judgment are severely impaired by delusional frameworks. Diagnostic impression. Axis 1, delusional disorder, persecutory/grandiose type, possible psychotic disorder, NOS. 2, obsessive, rigid personality traits with poor adaptability. 3, hypertension, stress-related weight loss. 4, long-term occupational isolation, unresolved trauma from Potter's Lake incident. Risk assessment. To self, high. Obsession with correcting the timeline may result in self-harm during attempted experiments. To others, severe. If granted access to advanced equipment, Dr. Kismet may attempt unauthorized experiments, potentially endangering personnel and facilities. To program security, unacceptable. Repeated efforts to solicit classified materials and demands for access to cloning technologies indicate significant risk of compromise.
All right. Then if someone will read the Kismet termination one now.
Okay. Classified top secret, SAP handled via redacted channels only. United States Department of Energy, Washington, D.C. Date, 12th April 1999 to Honorable Redacted, Assistant Director, Federal Bureau of Investigation from Redacted, Undersecretary, Department of Energy. Subject, termination directives. Subject, I'm sorry, is it Lyle or Leslie?
Lyle.
Lyle Kismet. Summary, Department of Energy has determined the ongoing management of subject Dr. Lyle Kismet poses an unacceptable risk of national security and program integrity. Pursuant to standing agreements under SAP authority and DOE hereby requests FBI assistance in the termination of Dr. Kismet's involvement in all current and future government operations. Rationale. Over the past quarter, Dr. Kismet's behavior has become increasingly erratic, culminating in an unauthorized absence of 2 weeks without notification. Upon return, Dr. Kismet asserted that he had passed through time and was now obligated to correct past wrongs. These claims accompanied by incoherent directives and repeated attempts to access restricted systems. Kismet insisted the recovered material was equivalent to DNA of non-human entity from Tindalos. He has demanded access to the cloning technologies to restore this entity. DOE oversight committees have unanimously concluded these proposals to constitute grave security threats and present uncontrollable hazards to personnel, infrastructure, and public safety. Project status. Effective immediately, the DOE is terminating the Potter's Lake project. All data, samples, experimental directives are to be systematically destroyed under SAP protocol, and DOE will ensure that no recoverable fragments remain. Personal note, Mrs. Catherine Fletcher, Dr. Kismet's research assistant, will remain under review, although no direct evidence implicates her familial ties to Serbia, maternal immigration 1974, warrants 6 months of FBI warranting to assess potential external influence and compromised loyalty. Directive, the Department of Energy formally requests the FBI execute full termination measures regarding Dr. Kismet in accordance with interagency guidelines. DOE will provide logistical support as necessary but assumes no further responsibility for his containment. Signed, redacted, United States Department of Energy.
Right. And then finally, the FBI after action report.
Classified top secret, handle via approved channels only, United States Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Counterintelligence and Special Operations Division. Date 20th of July, 1999, Department of Energy, Advanced Research Oversight Office. From the Assistant Director, Robert L. Markham, FBI Special Operations. Subject closure report, subject Dr. Lyle Kismet. Operation summary. Pursuant to interagency directive issued March 1999, the Federal Bureau of Investigation assumed full custody of Dr. Lyle Kismet, date of birth 21st September 1943, for final disposition. On the 14th of July 1999, subject was engaged under control, operational parameters. Outcome, status, subject terminated. Wow, what does that mean? Subject terminated. Remains, no recoverable body located following operational conclusion. Field accounts indicate anomalous distortions during final moments of engagement. Investigation yielded inconclusive forensic evidence. Personal losses. Special Agent David R. Smith and Special Agent Michael T. Jones, both assigned to the operation, sustained fatal injuries during engagement. Despite immediate medical intervention, both succumbed at the scene. Their actions directly ensured mission success and safeguarded remaining personnel. Commendations for valor and posthumous service recognition are strongly recommended. Containment. All associated materials, notes, and experimental devices under Kismet's control have been confiscated and transferred to Department of Energy for destruction. Witness. None outside interagency personnel, narrative control maintained. Assessment. Assessment. Termination directive carried out in accordance with established interagency protocols. The absence of physical remains complicates standard verification procedures, but operational commands affirm mission success. While the loss of Agent Smith and Jones is grievous, their conduct prevented wider compromise. Recommendation. Subject status to be recorded as neutralized, no remains. Posthumous commendations for Agent Smith and Jones are submitted for expedited review. Follow-on actions. 1. Continued monitoring of Ms. Catherine Fletcher, former assistant to Dr. Kismet, for a minimum of 6 months per DOE request. Number 2, coordination with DOE to ensure complete eradication of residual experimental data. And number 3, periodic review of anomalous case files referencing angular distortions for any signs of reoccurrence. Signed, Robert L. Markham, Assistant Director, Special Operations Division, Federal Bureau of Investigation. So they got rid of him, but they didn't have any body. And she continued his work, even though she wasn't supposed to.
Now we have a photo of him showing back up a couple of days before she disappears, saying that they'll meet at the old site.
Old lab or old site? Does that refer to Potter's Lake?
Well, it said the old lab.
Yeah, the old
Yeah, but Potter's Lake is
that's
Kansas.
No, it's far.
Kansas.
Yeah.
And
Well, I was
Nadine
gonna
said
say-
the old lab was on the west side of town.
Yeah.
And I will say there is it's not on there, but there would have been on one of the DOE memos. It does mention the location of the lab as being about 15 miles west of Arkham, out in the woods.
Cool. So we need to get to the lab.
We also must be careful. 2 agents died apprehending this man. If this has anything similar, we could be in danger too.
Sounds like he was off his rocker.
Something happened and there was no remains to recover.
Could have been a fire. Could have blown him. It sounded like they went there to actively kill him.
Yeah, this was a termination order.
This was the 90s. This was the incident in Serbia, Clinton administration, when there was all kinds of, these countries, the arguments they had for years that the Soviets and the communist bloc had suppressed, they all started coming up. Serbia. I mean, it mentioned that she had a Serbian connection to her family, her mother. I'm wondering if this is just this is some kind of setup now, like Russian or something, to try to get some of this data from her for their own use. I mean, it sounds like they're working on some kind of new energy project, and I'm thinking this is just an elaborate setup by foreign powers, possibly Russian, to lure her there.
It sounds like he's out of his freaking mind. Time travel and alien DNA and bullshit.
Apparently this energy, maybe it's some kind of miracle thing, but at the same time, it causes people to go insane. I mean, we're seeing it, I think, now with Dr. Fletcher. It obviously affected Kismet. I think the Russians or somebody is taking advantage of this. They were trying to get the data that she has, and I think they probably faked this. That's probably why the AI, I missed it or something. I mean, this is high level stuff. I think
why erase the computer? Why not just grab it and take it with you?
I don't know.
Well, those questions will have to be answered in our next session.
Absolutely crazy. Our players included John Donahue, Steve Anderson, Joe Bardalis, Sawyer Hill, Josh Ryan, and myself with Thomas Bailey as the keeper of arcane lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page listed in the description, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.